Hey guys, the WalterFootball.com After Dark show for May 7th, 2025. We're going to take a first look at the NFL win totals for the 2025 NFL season. Then maybe get some other bets going as well. And I'm sure we'll have some shenanigans here too. So before we
Oh no!
Okay, so he hit the button and he's left. He left. Nuggets is gone. All right. So before we begin, please hit like, subscribe, comment below, share this video, visit the link in the description of the merch store. As you can already tell, this is going to be a very wacky episode here. It's going to be a lot of fun. But yeah, Nuggets is back here.
Wait, my wife hit the wrong button. She hit studio. Because we share devices. I love my wife. She's the reason we're going to Aruba. I love my wife, but anyway, let's go on with win totals, please.
Yes. Before we do that, go to the merch store. I'm wearing a light blue shirt from the merch store. It is part of our summer collection. It's very fancy. You don't see that here. You're like, wait, I don't see a light blue shirt. You can actually go in and change the colors of all these shirts. You can
I'm buying a black one, by the way, and your books. Nice. I bought the how the 2020 MVP was stolen. I bought the Jerks to College Years. I read them already. I'm going to reread them on the beach in Aruba because I thought they were freaking great. So I'm not trying to kiss Walter's ass. Believe me, I could if I would, but I'm not. And I just think they're freaking actually great books because Walter is not a journalist, and I don't believe in journalism, or at least bullshit journalism. And the books are great. You're going to laugh your asses off, at least for Jerks to College Years. The MVP of 2020 was very interesting. I was like, holy crap, how did that happen? And Walter's insights into it were very illuminating, and I can't recommend it enough because, just like every other freaking league, everything's rigged. And this was rigged just like the NHL draft was rigged last night. So I'm not going to try to cross sports. I apologize for doing that at the beginning. But, yeah, how the hell does he not win the MVP? It's such bullshit. Anyway, I digress.
I don't even have to promote my own books because Nuggets said it for me. Appreciate it.
Because your books are great. You're not a journalist. I'm not trying to. I could say a lot of other worse things. I'm not trying to kiss your ass. I like the books. I think they're funny. I think they're great. You're almost like the who's that dude? The Christopher Hitchens for sports. The dude who wrote "Thank You for Smoking."
Yeah.
That you are that for sports. It's that level of commentary, which is just great. So that's why I never reread books. I'm rereading these because they're that good.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah. And I'm not kissing your ass because of it. I just like the books. Anyway.
Yeah, and I agree that I think journalism is something that doesn't really exist anymore. I think it used to, but
it used to.
It's dead now, unfortunately. But what are you going to do? So
we're going to bet on sports and make money. That's what we're going to do.
That's right. Yep. That's why we're here.
That's why I bet Freddie Freeman and Ohtani tonight. What's up?
Did Ohtani hit another home run? Because he
did.
We've done very well with our home run bets. I think we're up like $1,600 or $1,700 in the past week.
Tonight alone was plus $1,250 for Ohtani and Freeman to hit a bomb.
That's awesome.
And we had 100 on it. So Aruba's paid for.
That's awesome. Congrats on that. We had Judge, we had Yandy Diaz, and we had one more left. We have Langoliers from the Athletics. So
I have Langoliers, and I have Soderstrom, and I had Raleigh, but he obviously got ruled out.
Yeah.
So now I'm kind of like, my payout isn't going to be that big, but if I can get at least Soderstrom to hit one, it'll be a good night.
Yeah, I have him in the silver.
I round robined it. So, and then Terry Carpenter getting scratched because of the storm in Colorado really kind of screwed me because I had him in everything, and they had to recalibrate. And luckily, I got Schwarber into everything, and Schwarber hit one plus Ohtani. So now I'm on the 3 round robin edition of like, who's gonna hit a bomb for me?
That's awesome. Yeah, hopefully Langoliers gets there for both of us.
Hopefully, I want Lango bombs to do it. I wanted the big dumper, but apparently the big dumper can't play more than 3 games in a row for some reason.
Who's the big dumper?
Cal Raleigh.
Oh, okay, yeah.
He is the biggest ass in the league. Like, I'm not even kidding. His ass is literally Kim Kardashian size. It might be like 24 inches big.
Nice.
That's why they call him the big dumper, because like literally you see his ass and like his frame is like my frame, but then you see his ass and it's like Kim Kardashian and it's so huge, it's ridiculous. I'm not even kidding.
I have to
Google
look
it.
at it
Like,
to check it out.
Google it. I mean, just like I had to Google the other day about like Russell Westbrook and his point totals. Everyone was like, "Oh yeah, bet whatever his nickname was." And I was like, "Who the hell is that guy?"
Yeah, I'm looking at Google now. I guess I see it.
Yeah, and I was like, Russell Westbrook, his nickname is that? And then I, of course, told all people to like ladder from like 12 to 20 points. He got to 18, but he missed 2 wide open threes and 4 free throws, which would have been nice if for the 20. I'm going to do it again, just like Caruso. I'm going to probably parlay them. So anyway, I digress. We're cross pollinating. I apologize, but let's go into football, which is my favorite sport. And
yeah,
I love.
Absolutely. Before we do that, let's intro everyone. Let's go from top to bottom.
We haven't
done that yet. By the way, please consider super chats, super stickers. Best way to
I'm just like here.
I'll do a bunch of them. Like I'll contribute. I don't care.
Hey, John Sanders, Slew, Degeneron recently, and many others. Thank you so much. All right, Butters and Nuggets, top to bottom. You want to intro yourselves, and we'll get on to football betting.
I feel like I'm what's we call it? Usher when they were trying to do the COVID, the big sing along, and he thought he was in the middle, but he was in the corner, and he's going like this. It's like whatever, I'm here.
I'm about to say I don't need any introduction at this rate. Let's just go because wifey is calling, and I get none if I'm late. So.
Yeah, it sounds like we have about an hour of Nuggets, so we should get on.
My apologies. Normally you get more of Nuggets, but
it's not time on the closet.
No, I'm not in the closet. I'm actually in the corner of the room. Hold on, I will show this. I built this corner, but I have a huge ass TV and everything, so I'm not in a closet. However, wifey has. Oh, she's yelling again. If I don't follow certain rules, I get none.
So, chop.
Yeah, especially when the kids are out and we're going to Aruba. So
yeah, Nuggets is on his way to Aruba. So it's the free Aruba.
I'm literally leaving at like literally 0 dark 30. So
all right. So my plan is to go division by division. Take a first look at the win totals. I have only looked at one of these, and I know I want to bet it. And I want to see. I'm not going to mention which team it is. I want to see if we can stumble upon
Falcons. I want the Falcons.
All right. Well, I want to start in the division where you guys root for. So we're going to start with Butters' NFC North, and then we'll go to Nuggets.
I hate the NFC North.
Well, let's get out of the way then. The first team, Chicago, their over/under is 8.5. Detroit
no, under.
Detroit is 10.5. Big is shade is to -140. Green Bay, Butters' Packers are 9.5. Shade tour the under -130. And then Minnesota is 8.5, over 8.5, so -120. I really like one of these. I'll say Minnesota is my favorite here. I think they have the best, one of the best rosters in the NFL if you take out quarterback. Quarterback is a question mark, but we saw Sam Darnold last year look like a Pro Bowler, and JJ McCarthy was Kevin McCollum's handpicked guy. I love their team. I love their offensive line. I think they're going to have a good chance to win the Super Bowl this year. So I love Minnesota over. The other ones, I can go either way. Although I am leaning a certain direction with one of the other ones. What do you guys think here? Any strong leans? I know Nuggets. You mentioned Chicago under.
Yeah, Chicago under for me. I mean, I know Ben Johnson's great, but like 1 year turnaround, I just don't see it. Like it's just a feel for me, especially when they have the 26th hardest schedule. Like I'm looking at strength schedule, right? And like the hardest schedules right now are Giants, Browns, Lions, Eagles, Vikings, and Bears. And I'm like, the win total doesn't make any sense to me. At 8.5, like that's a tough number to swallow. So that's why I'm under. Vikings, same thing. They're at 8.5, and they're right there with the Bears. So I'm scared. I think it's gonna be like an 8-1 division winner. I know I'm saying ties, but like still, like that's what it feels like. The Bengals having the same odds as who? The Texans?
Seems crazy. Okay, we haven't gotten to them yet, but that's interesting. I would be looking under. You think the winner of the NFC North is going to be around 8-8, or obviously with the 17?
That just math implies it. I mean, like looking at the schedule, it just doesn't make any sense.
Okay, interesting. I didn't take a look at Minnesota's schedule yet. Maybe I should, but it feels I really like Minnesota this year.
I as well, but like they're ranked lower than the Bears. Like the Bears' schedule is the 26th hardest, or 26th hardest, because the Giants have the hardest schedule. They're at 32. But I guess the NFC North got screwed this year because it's like the Packers, the Bears, the Vikings, and the Lions all got like the hardest schedule in kind of the Lions have the 30th hardest schedule in the year, meaning like one is the easiest, 32nd is the easiest. Sorry, the other way around. One is the easiest, 32nd is the hardest, and the Lions are 30th.
It's the third hardest schedule.
Yeah, it's third hardest schedule.
Okay.
The Vikings are the fifth hardest schedule. The Bears are the sixth hardest schedule. And the Packers are the ninth hardest schedule.
Well, I'm looking at the Bears schedule. There are definitely some tough opponents. Like I see Ravens, Eagles, and then obviously within the division. But I'm also looking at like there's Dallas, Giants, Browns, Saints. Those are all easy games. Looks like Niners aren't that great. You have I think the Bengals are overrated. Doesn't look that bad. I mean, again, like the divisional games are really tough, so it's not going to be an easy schedule.
Agreed there. I mean, but they're telling me the San Francisco 49ers have the easiest schedule
along with
the Patriots and the Saints.
Yeah, Niners schedule is so easy, yeah. We've noticed that before. Okay, so speaking 1 second on the Bears, I mentioned this on Saturday. One of my friends, he bet the Bears to win the Super Bowl. And his reasoning was that
hate money?
Maybe his reasoning was he thinks Caleb Williams is an elite player and that Ben Johnson is going to turn him into a great quarterback, and they have a great roster. I agree that they have a good roster, but I don't know about Caleb Williams. I just don't trust him. And I said this.
I don't trust a quarterback that paints his fingernails.
Yeah,
I trust a catcher who paints his fingernails in baseball. I do not trust a quarterback who paints his fingernails.
I'll give him a couple of years to get his.
No, you won't. Packers, you give him like tomorrow.
No, I mean like to get his mind out of the gutter. Like it seems like he needs to get out of.
You're telling me his mind is out of the gutter already? I mean, he brought 3 models in Miami to a club. Apparently, that shows off he's masculine. And I go, no, it's called a cover because he's still a bitch ass boy who has to cry to his mama about how his team sucks.
Yeah. By the way, I mentioned this on Saturday. There have only been 2 first-year head coaches to ever win the Super Bowl. Their quarterbacks were Johnny Unitas and Joe Montana.
Yeah,
so,
it ain't happening.
Unless
Barry Switzer wasn't a first-year quarterback first-year coach that won a Super Bowl?
Unless Grok lied to me.
I know, because I mean, like Switzer was a first-year head coach, and I'm wondering, like, because they went from Jimmy Johnson to him. Did he not? Was it a second year that he went with Aikman and all them? It was 3 out of 4 years for the Cowboys.
He was hired in March '94.
I don't know. I'm more of a record keeping. I'm just asking because that doesn't seem right. But then again,
yeah. So Barry Switzer got hired in 1994, and the Cowboys won the Super Bowl with Switzer in 1996.
All right. So the first year he didn't, but the second year he did. All right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm not crazy.
Yeah. It looks like it was the second year. Butters, what are your thoughts on the NFC North odds?
So
I'll put them back on the screen.
With the Bears, I feel
the Bears are going to suck.
And I feel like they had their chance at getting Genty and they didn't go for it. And
exactly.
That was kind of their all in. If that's what they want, if that was their initial plan and they didn't do it, it's like, so what are you doing? So it's kind of what I like the coaching upgrade. I like that they're taking initiative to fill holes, especially with that offensive line. But there's still questions on the quarterback mentality and maturity that I'd love to see. I'd love to see it that prove me wrong. Because I guess I'm still kind of in that mode too that I would not be surprised if the Packers were the last in the division. Would not be surprised at all.
So here's my question to that, Alex. Like, I get Caleb Williams. I understand the talent. But then I look at Thanksgiving Day and the debacle that happened. Do I blame that on Eberflus or do I blame that on Caleb? And the reason I'm asking that is because, like, is the quarterback got some intestinal fortitude where he can, like, actually do it? Or does he have to rely on his coach to basically spoon feed him, like, how to do the job?
Well, it happened 4 weeks later in that Thursday night game against Seattle. The same thing. He did the same thing 4 weeks later.
Right. That's my point. Is that, like, I don't know how I can root for the Bears here. Like, the Bears to me is an under, and I just think they have no defense. Like, I don't see I feel like I'm talking like the reverse of the New England Patriots, where, like, Vrabel decided. I know I'm going to go off on a weird tangent. Give me 2 seconds, please. Vrabel decided to go all defense and address some things in the offensive line. So we're probably maybe like a 7-win team, maybe 8, because Vrabel knows defense. Ben Johnson knows offense. But the problem is the Chicago defense sucks. So, like, what are you going to do here?
Here's what I could see potentially happening is somehow Ben Johnson goes on this kind of run that we saw a couple of years ago, where we saw with the Lions and the Vikings, where, well, in that case, the Lions lost by touchdown or less, and Vikings lost, and the Vikings won by a touchdown or less. And I could kind of see that happening with Chicago a little bit, where it's like somehow they're getting these wins by less than a touchdown, and it's just, is it just everything meshing together and then just a heartbreak in the playoffs? I mean, I could see it with this team, especially with upgrading their wide receivers as well. It looks like that they'll have, gosh, I can't remember his name who got drafted, but they're very similar together.
Luther Burden. They did lose Keenan Allen, though.
Mm-hmm. But Keenan Allen's old.
Yeah, I agree.
Old and washed.
Yeah, he had like a few good games last year. He had the stretch, like the 4-week stretch where he's doing well. Other than that, like, he was pretty bad last year. They did draft Colston Loveland too. It's a second tight end. Yeah. So,
I think who's getting the targets? It feels like the Buffalo offense all over again, where they have Knox and they got Kincaid, and now they got Loveland and Komet. Like, I feel like I'm watching like Gronk and Hernandez again. Like, who's the alpha?
Well, DJ Moore's still there, and they have Odunze and Burden. It feels like they have a lot of weapons.
I just went from a tight end perspective.
Oh yeah. I feel like I think Loveland's going to play in the slot, and Komet's going to be the regular wide tight end.
Oh, I see what you're trying. I see. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's. I think they could both definitely play
a little bit or something.
What'd you say? Sorry.
Maybe they were kind of watching tape a little bit on Mike Tucker Craft and how the Packers were playing Tucker Craft and kind of shape it in that aspect. Because I mean, all NFC North teams, I mean, they know each other. They play each other twice every single year. So I mean, they pick up on cues. So maybe they're not trying to win a Super Bowl. They're just trying to get to the playoffs, and they know their teams enough where it's like, okay, I just need to get over that hump.
Yeah. And as John Sanders pointing out, their defense coordinator is Dennis Allen. Bet the under. So it's another good reason to bet against Chicago there. Any leans on the other teams before we move on to another division, Butters?
I'm actually opposite with you with the Vikings, and that's not just due to the fact that I'm a Packer fan, but I just don't trust their quarterback situation. I really don't. I know there's a lot of hype about it, but they've got the offense except for with the asterisk of their quarterback, and I don't believe it. I don't believe in JJ McCarthy. I believe that they had better options.
Well, did you believe in Darnold last year though? It's the same thing.
It is, but I agree with Butters here. We're like JJ's an unknown commodity, coming off the knee. Like, it always takes a year to come off the knee. And I just.
What if they pick up Rodgers midseason?
They're not picking up Rodgers midseason.
I think the Steelers are still getting Rodgers personally, but
yeah, probably.
I think that's happening. I think it's already basically Rodgers doesn't want to show up for mini camp, and they're just gonna play it that way.
Typical Rodgers stuff.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I think he wanted to make sure they weren't going to draft Shedeur Sanders. It's interesting. You're under Minnesota.
Shedeur Sanders, number 12 for the Cleveland Browns, because Brady is his idol. Yeah, because that makes a ton of sense.
Well, he's that means he's going to do well now. I think.
No, it means he's going to get his ass kicked, and the dude should never been drafted. But that's a whole other story.
Yeah. Steven says I can see how he performs off that injury first before making any assumptions. Definitely fair.
Love Stephen Coy. Like, Stephen Coy
definitely fair.
Is a righteous dude. The dude knows his shit.
I think that's fair to say.
100%
but
fair.
I'd rather be early though than late. We're getting a great number on the Vikings here. I think personally, like if you agree with me,
is there still JJ McCarthy Rookie of the Year numbers?
No, I don't think he's eligible. I didn't see
that's the one thing I would want to grab if I could, but
I don't. It might
Steven,
be.
My boy.
I think weren't you talking about McCarthy MVP or someone was at like 200 to 1?
I was not saying McCarthy MVP.
Someone said it in my ear.
I might say McCarthy most improved, but
okay.
I don't think he's even eligible for that. Like
the
just because Burrow beat my ass out last year, because Burrow was apparently most improved, but he broke his hand. But it should have been Sam Darnold, but that's a whole different story.
But the argument is if the Vikings had the best record in the league, because I mean they went 14-3 last year without Darisaw for half the year, then McCarthy MVP kind of makes sense. But I don't know if he's gonna get there, but if the numbers are like 200 to 1 or something, then
I do have a question though.
Yeah.
Is there any stats with teams coming off of their head coach winning Coach of the Year?
Could probably ask Gronk that. I'll ask him next time.
Hold on, Elon, get your ass over here.
I love Gronk, man. It just like. Well, except when it conflates Will Johnson and Willie Johnson and screws up my mock draft. I don't know if you saw that, but like I asked him to make a mock draft, and it made Will Johnson and Willie Johnson in the same mock draft. And then I told it, I was like, no, you're wrong. And it's like, oh, sorry, there's a typo. So it redid a mock draft, and it had some write-ups, and it sourced me like 5 times. It's like Walter Football says. I was like, oh, wow, that's pretty cool. Anyway, let's get to
Hold on. Has any coach won Coach of the Year? What was the other thing?
how have teams done the year after their coach has won Coach of the Year? Okay, so you're typing that in. Okay, so
Yeah, I got it.
Because that kind of plays in my mind a little bit of like, because I'm very familiar with the NFC North, and kind of painting a picture like, okay, this team's doing good, this team's doing bad. Like, obviously, like you have to like this. If these two do these, then the other two are going to go here, and those sorts of things. Like, you can't all have like 8, 9 teams.
Right. Dable won it. Yeah. Grockle let us know. Hopefully their facts are correct. All right, let's get to the AFC East as Nuggets is looking that up. The Buffalo Bills are over 11.5 is shaded to the over -140. The Miami Dolphins are, where are they? They're 8.5. The under is -150. So if you like that, maybe you can shop around, get a -140, -135 somewhere. The New England Patriots are 7.5. Nuggets just said 7. So that's kind of right there. And then the New York Jets are 5.5. I imagine that there aren't going to be too many teams worse than that. Maybe the Browns. So I really like one bet here, and this is what I was referring to earlier. So I'm not going to say it until you guys break it down. And I don't want to like lead the witness or anything. So I just hope that you guys are on the same page.
But you led the witness already.
Did I? I didn't say the team though.
You did.
I did. Okay.
The Patriots over.
That's not it. That's not it. Okay.
But I believe in the Patriots under. Like I'm sorry. I love this team. I die with this team. I
like Vrabel a lot.
They have the second easiest schedule in the league, and I guarantee you, Vrabel and this coaching staff will find a way to screw this up.
Really, you're not a Vrabel believer?
I'm a Vrabel believer, but here's the thing. Who the hell is Drake May throwing to?
Stephon Diggs.
Is Stephon Diggs number 1?
It's a torn ACL. No, he's not number 1. No.
Is he a kick returner?
Exactly. Like, that's what I'm going to. Like, you're going to win games like 17-13 because you drafted the number 1 kicker in the country. In that kid from Miami, Bola or whatever his name is. But your schedule is super easy. Like, I could see you winning the division, or hell, getting second division and getting a wild card. And then you can hear your door is blown off by Buffalo or Texas. Like, there's just if you drafted a Travis Hunter, fine. I'm game. But I just don't see you winning more than 7 games. I just don't. Like, it's going to be like it's going to be the old school mentality. Like, the Buffalo Bills, a.k.a. the Patriots, you win like 12. And the Buffalo Bills win like 7, and they squeak into the playoffs because the rest of the AFC sucks.
Yeah, I feel like the Vrabel's results are always like a war. You know, like 16-15, 18-12. Like his scores are always 100%. Like yeah.
Good coaches win, great coaches cover, right?
Exactly. Yeah. All right, so it's not the Patriots over that I love here.
Oh God.
So I'll take the cover then on the Patriots because good coaches win and great coaches cover.
Oh my God! Are we one of the Dolphins under because of Tua?
It is Miami under. It's not because of Tua. Yes! Well, I mean, look, he might get concussed. Yes! He might get concussed. That's like a bonus, but that's not the only reason I.
But I knew I was right. I was like, I knew.
Sure. So why?
I want to jump against this wall and like celebrate, like hitting a 3 and. Damn it! I knew I was right.
Do you want to talk about why the Dolphins under is?
Because the Dolphins fucking suck. Like Tyreek, we don't know what's happening to Tyreek because he's going to go to jail. Waddle, whatever. Their running back situation, and their offensive line didn't get any better. And oh, by the way, Tua is a concussion away from like not being in the league anymore. Like,
who's their backup quarterback?
They have a
Zach Wilson.
Oh my God, Zach
It's
Wilson.
a roster. Yeah.
MILF Hunter Zach Wilson is their backup. Oh my God.
In Miami too.
Please.
I think,
and they get Quinn
This
Ewers
is the Shane
too.
Gillis meme of like,
oh my God,
like this.
Zach Wilson would never see the field. It'd be Quinn Ewers. They'll just say, Zach, your mom is not tight enough. Whatever.
Oh, they got Malik Washington apparently. They got Malik Washington there, so he can quarterback.
Oh. I mean, look at this offensive line. This offensive line is terrible.
Yeah, well, at least they had Armstead there last year, you know? Like, he's gone.
But Armstead is gone. I mean, I'm sorry. Like, Miami, you dead. And you don't know it yet.
This is half their team. Let's look at their defense. Look at their defensive line.
Don't look at the defense.
Look at their defensive line. Zach Seiler's a good player. Kenneth Grant's a rookie. Benito Jones, and that's it. Like, they have nothing on the defensive line.
Chubb got his money and said basically F off.
Yeah.
Same thing with Ramsey.
Ramsey's gone too. They're going to trade him. So,
season's over. Bye-bye, Miami.
Their starting cornerbacks are Storm Duck and Cam Smith, and one of their starting safeties is Ashton Davis. Like, this team is awful.
That is a name your player type of draft.
Yeah.
And you screwed. And I hate the money.
Okay. I will give
Okay. Oh my God. Alex Ingold. Oh my God. Give me Kalish Juszczyk. Oh, Quentin Ewers. Yeah. What did he do in the pros? Literally zero.
Bring back the fullback.
Oh my
God! They have good running backs, but they can't run block. That's the issue.
Exactly.
They couldn't run block at all last year.
They have no offensive line know how to block.
Yeah, Etan's going to catch passes out of the backfield. Jonnu Smith's going to be good. That's it though. Like, they really have nothing else there. Like, Tyreek Hill's past his prime. Like you said, who knows?
Tyreek Hill is literally a sentence away from being in jail.
Yeah,
like he held his toddler over the balcony of his apartment because his house was on fire. Like, the dude is just mentally not there. Like, if you had a live CTE like person to examine, that's him. Like, Tyreek, love and respect. You have made more money than I'll ever see in my life. You will run faster than ever I will do in my life. But, dude, get some help. Like,
yeah, for sure.
I'm sorry, but I respect the game, but, like, dude, what are we doing here? Like,
yeah. Butters, do you agree with the Miami under 8.5?
Yeah, I agree. Like,
woo!
3 for 3. Very nice. This is one thing I'm going to place like instantly. Some of these other ones I'm going to wait till I do my season previews, you know. But I'm going to find, again, like, shop around, see if you can find minus 135 on the vig or something, maybe minus 130.
Can I interject a second? There's a site that I use that has aggregated all this stuff. It is awesome. I don't know if I can say the name out loud. Am I allowed to?
Sure. It doesn't matter to me.
Okay. No. It's called unabated.com.
Okay.
These guys literally have all this shit aggregated and it goes across the books. So you can say, hey, listen, Atlanta, they're showing 7.5 minus 130 at Caesars, but they'll show that it's minus 110 at DraftKings. And you can make the best bet off of that option. By the way, Unabated, if you're listening, Walter could use a sponsorship.
That's right. I had a similar sponsor and they broke it off because they didn't like what I said on Twitter. So
then
we're
fuck them because they're assholes. Unabated. I know you don't care about
sorry,
standards.
I thought this was America.
Unabated, get your ass in here because Walter will love you.
Well, when your company's run by a crazy cat lady, then it tends to not like what you say.
No, these guys are Boston born. They ain't crazy cat ladies. They know how to pack the cat and have it yad. I'll put it that way.
Okay, I will check it out. I have it on the screen on my.
No, they're good cats. They've hit me up a couple of times, but the only reason I mention it is because their win totals I followed for the last 3 years. It's been very profitable, and I didn't want to be a dick and not say like where I'm getting my sources from, but like, okay. I want to be genuine, and people can go check out the site and say like, oh look, that is like San Francisco 10.5. I'm cool in the under, but that's a whole other story.
You have ability to see where the best Dolphins line is, and that's the only one. I don't.
Hold on, if you give me a minute, I will tell you.
And I feel like this is like a shout out to them. Like you can look it up this quickly. I'm telling you, this is not
literally it is that quickly.
Yeah.
Like,
so
these cats, and this is the free version. This isn't even like the.
Oh, there's free versions.
Yeah. Free trip to No Pussy that I'm getting tomorrow. You're an alcoholic, and I don't need you to smell like booze. Are we all listening to this? I'm so glad it's documented.
We have to go.
Yeah, I'm trying to save everybody money right now.
Yeah, okay. You need to go.
I'm trying to. Are we listening to this, boys? Like, if I.
You're an alcoholic, number one.
I'm not an alcoholic.
Yes, you are.
Don't ever date Jewish women. God damn it. The answer is normally there is NFL lines, but there isn't today. Okay.
Well,
we're leaving in the morning. It's my trip.
I'm not sleeping, but thanks for playing.
Well, you're not keeping me up coffee either. Sit on the couch and watch a movie.
Boys, I think that means I need to leave, or else I'm not getting laid ever again.
We understand.
Love you both.
We'll see you when you get back.
If I'm still alive. If it wasn't TMI, he is now. I am super time out right now. Like, I am. I screwed up. Yeah. There's going to be a lot of munching in my future. So anyway, love you both.
Hopefully we'll see you in the PGA Championship.
Hopefully, otherwise I'm dead, and I'm giving Butters and you all my money, so it's okay.
Okay.
I told my children, whenever I die, your inheritance is 0, and I'm giving it across my friends and family.
You better know.
So I'm just saying. Yeah, because I was told the last check I ever write is gonna bounce. So therefore I did that. And oh, by the way, John Sanders, yes, we've been married now 12 years. This is what happens at 12 years with 2 kids and one with a heart condition. So this is what happens. Yeah, especially when I said, I better go, or else I'm definitely not getting laid at all. So, love you all. I apologize.
Okay.
Yeah, at least I get the water balloon to the face this time.
Yeah, make it lines dropping as we speak. Let's see what Unabated says. The best line is.
Make it 5. He's not wrong, but if it all right, I have $100. Say I'll make it 5. Okay. John, you willing to match that? Then I'll make it 5 months. I'll make it to basically Thanksgiving. We'll call it even.
We'll see what he says. I'll let you know what he says.
If he does, then I'm in. Hell, I'll make it $1,000. Then I'll make it to Thanksgiving.
Oh man!
I mean, she's Jewish. She likes money. Now I feel like I'm being scammed.
It's all set up.
It was the Jewish line.
No, that's it. That's it. That dead giveaway. Oh man, that was good.
Damn it! All right, love y'all, but yeah,
All right,
I better go to bed or else I'm gonna get my. I might lose my dick tonight. Irene Lorena Bobbitt style.
Ain't about it. Yeah.
So
All right,
love
Nuggets.
y'all.
All right,
My
see ya.
apologies, but best of luck. And the Patriots are not going to win 10 games next year. So that's all I got.
All right.
Stay safe out
All
there.
right, man. See ya.
All right. And if the Patriots do win 10 games next year, I will give everybody in this chat $100.
Okay.
If they win more than 10 games, I will give everyone in this chat $100.
More than 10
If they-
games. All right. Let's go. 11-6.
If they do not, then you're welcome, and I saved you money. So I'll put it that way.
All right. Let's
John,
go. Let's go, Patriots.
John,
11-6.
divorce is not that expensive, especially when you have a divorce lawyer in the family. You're fine.
John, thank you so much, John, for the 411 super chat.
But
Really
John,
it.
appreciate the super chat. Hell, I might even double it and contribute. Actually, fuck it, I am.
Oh, nice.
But it won't let me. God damn it! What the hell doesn't let me?
It won't let you?
No, I'm trying to like jump in and I guess I have to go to YouTube and do it and go that way. I can't get through StreamYard.
Oh, yeah. You can't do it the streaming. It has to be on YouTube.
All right. Well, I'll contribute after the show ends. But you guys, awesome. Thank you. Putting up with me. I apologize for Mrs. Nuggets. Yeah. And go from there. But,
All right.
boys, it's been a pleasure as always. And if you want to do this again tomorrow night, at least I won't get this shit. Because I'll be in Aruba and she'll be drunk and passed out.
That'd be fun.
right, boys.
It's always a blast, Nuggets. Thank you so much for coming on.
I love Stephen Coy. If she's here, who's running hell? That is a great. Oh my god! I might give you like $100 like PayPal like instant like DM me. I will give you $100 to do whatever the hell you want. Because you literally personify my life. That is exactly what I say to her. I literally call her the micromanager from hell. Like today, like the kids and everything. Oh my god. To Trophy, like seriously, DM me, Twitter, Facebook, whatever. I'll send you $100 because you couldn't be any more right. Oh my god, that is the quote of the month. Not the quote of the year, because my wife's name is Sharon, but I call her Karen. And there's a reason why. But that is fucking awesome. DM me, hit me up. I'll send you $100. That is a fucking great comment. And now I'm never gonna get laid again.
Was it worth it?
It's all out there.
It was worth it for $100 because at least I didn't bang some other chick. I mean, I'd rather get that comment than banging some other chick. Because at least I know that I did the right thing. All right, boys. I gotta bail, or else I'm definitely never ever getting laid again. So, love y'all. Thank you to the Walter Football Network. They are the best at doing this. Sorry that I brought up Unabated in a good way. Oh, Coy, you're the best. You want a meteorologist, dude? Like, you ever want to know the weather in any NFL game? Hit this dude up. This dude literally has a degree in meteorology, like wind, temperature, everything. Like, he can tell you if the kicker is going to suck today or not. Screw Kevin Roth. Subscribe to this dude. I'm not kidding. Like, he's made me more money than I can count based off of the weather.
Wow.
Like, all of a sudden, the quarterback, like, there was a Kansas City game a couple of years, like a year ago. It was Kansas City versus, I want to say Buffalo. But and everyone said it was going to be super high total. And Steven's like, yo, the weather sucks. It's like 20 degrees in Buffalo. Nobody is going to throw the freaking ball. Everyone's going to run the ball. So I bet every running back prop that I could have my hands on, and I made more money than I can count. Like, I literally made I think I made like 15 grand that day because of Steven. Like that, and everyone's hearing wifey scream, "Get off!" I'm just saying. But anyway, I said I was leaving. Yes, I'm trying to move a point, and it's all over the YouTube live stream now. You're welcome. You're now internet famous. That's what I have to deal with.
Oh my god!
And you guys are bursting out laughing. You're not wrong. This is the shit I have to deal with on a day-to-day basis.
You better know for your own sanity. You better know.
Yeah. Goodbye, Nuggets. More like you're dead, Nuggets. Like Nuggets is super dead. If I apparently happen to rise from a resurrection, I would like to thank both of you. But anyway, the whole point is that I think Mike's comment is 100% accurate. And I think, yes, somebody's running hell. No, that's there. We just got to go deal with it. But, Jesus died and then he rose again in 3 days. So, there's so many things I could say. Okay, I gotta go before I literally have a Lorena Bobbitt situation on my hand because oh my god, she has a knife. She has a knife. I gotta go.
Go.
I gotta go. Love you both. Bye.
Bye. Oh my god, that was okay. That was not expected, to say the least. It was very funny, but oh man.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, this is a family show.
This is a family show.
I try not to curse in here. And I'm not that I really curse because I have 2 kids. I try not to anyway. I did not expect it to take that sort of turn, but it was fun. It was very, very entertaining. Oh my god! I hope you guys got a good kick out of that because I did. So,
we're not doing sponsorship. This pod is not sponsored by beers that you sneak on the airplane.
Yeah. Unabated just has, and it was just on the screen the entire time that happened. So. Oh man, I hope they get a sub or 2 from that. That would be funny.
We'll have to do a wellness check in a few days.
Yeah, seriously. Like a story, oh man, John Bobbitt Part 2. Oh man. That'd be horrible, but it's because of the show. Can you imagine? Because of the show. Oh my god,
gosh, this is hilarious.
But the funny thing is, he said he had to go, and then it was 15 minutes later he kept saying it, and we didn't even talk about any other NFL stuff. Oh man, you'll never get the content of the Warriors Shots podcast. Yeah, yeah. I mean that exactly. Yeah. Well, why don't you tune into him when you have this? All right. Anyway, so any final thoughts on this AFC East?
Well, I guess we're going with the over on the Patriots then.
Well, everyone gets paid out. If you bet the alt over at 10.5, and if it has to hit. Everyone got a free bet in the alt over at 10.5. So if you bet the alt under 10.5. I know the vig is going to be insanely high, but you're basically guaranteeing yourself some money. So something you can take advantage of on here. I love the Miami under. Anything else before we move on to? I don't know. We jump to the NFC East.
Well, I know you bet Buffalo. I know you bet Buffalo to win the Super Bowl, so it's almost like it might also just be an idle bet, just bet the over as well.
Yeah. Over 11.5 is kind of tough, especially with this big -140. I think they'll get there, but like they could go, 11-6, and I'd have to look at the schedule, but if it's easy, I think over 11.5 should hit. But
they could easily.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you think that they just run the table in their division too, I mean, that's 6 wins easy right there. So you're halfway there.
Yeah. Like who's going to beat them in the division? Like the Jets are terrible. They always beat Miami anyway. And
I mean, if you think of it that way, I mean, you're going to go. Let's say they run the table and they get their 6 wins, and then let's say the scenario with the Patriots. Well, then they're going to get 4 because their division still sucks, and they could be second place in that division.
Mm-hmm. Well, all right, let's do their schedule. So outside of the division, they have at Atlanta, home versus Baltimore, which is a revenge game. Home against Cincinnati. Bengals have had their number, at least when the defense is good. Home against the Saints, home against Tampa, home against Kansas City, which Buffalo always beats Kansas City in the regular season and then loses to them in the playoffs. At home against Philadelphia, it's a tough one. At Carolina, at Cleveland, at Houston, and at Pittsburgh. That seems, 12 wins seems doable there, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it's not bad. The big kind of sucks at -140, but
I can see them losing to, let's see, the Ravens. Let's see, the Ravens, the Eagles,
Cleveland. Just kidding. Look at Houston. They lost.
They
at
have like
Houston
a game
last
that
year.
gets thrown, so
They lost at Houston last year. That could happen again. At Pittsburgh's always going to be tough, but they'll probably be like a small favorite in that game.
Unless it shifts and they lose to the Chiefs in the regular season and they beat them in the playoffs. So
It reverses, yeah.
They can maybe lose to the Buccaneers.
Yeah, it depends when Tampa has to go to Buffalo. I think if it's in December, it's probably going to be rough for them. Look, Cincinnati could always put up a fight. Some of these games are 50-50s like this. I think the Baltimore game is 50-50. I would give the Bills an edge here. This might be like 55-45, 60-40. The Kansas City one's probably 50-50. Eagles probably 50-50. At Texans is probably close to 50-50. And then at Pittsburgh is probably like 55-45 Bills. So you need some breaks to go your way to go over 11.5. It's just like the VIG kind of sucks. And, over 11.5, like there's no margin for error. Like if Josh Allen misses 3 or 4 games, like you're over's dead. So yeah, I would take it. I'd rather just bet the Bills to win the Super Bowl. Right. They should sweep the road games, says John. Well, that means you win at Houston and at Pittsburgh. Like, I feel like the odds say you lose one of them. I think they'll probably lose one of them. As for the other road games, though, like at Carolina, at Cleveland, at Miami, at New England, at New York Jets, like those seem like wins too. So they probably go like 7-1 on the road, or they have it at Atlanta too. So at Atlanta's an interesting team. I think that they might be better than people think this year. But I'd rather just bet them to win the Super Bowl than or playing Pittsburgh Island. Okay, yeah, probably playing Pittsburgh Island. Okay, that makes sense.
Rogers across seas has a bad record. So it should be a win.
Yeah, he's laid an egg there twice. So unless he has like something magical in Ireland, like he's done very poorly in England twice. So I don't know. John asking, why don't they drop the line to 7.5 at the Fish? Does Vegas know something we don't? Well, I don't know if like people recognize how bad Miami is because they have some big names. Like they have Tyreek, they have Tua, they have Devon Achane, they have Jonnu Smith was great last year. They have Waddle, they have Jalen Ramsey. I feel like people don't recognize them as a terrible team. I mean, they had a like somewhat decent record last year when Tua was playing. So I think that people are kind of see them as like a mediocre or maybe slightly better team, but I don't think they recognize how bad the roster is. So I don't know. I think this might be like something where like the public is kind of slow to this. But I do expect it to drop to 7.5 at some point, which is why I want to bet it now. Like I'd be shocked if I do my season preview and I'm like, oh, I think Miami's better than I thought they were. Like I'm just looking at the roster and it just looks pathetic to me. So this is the one. This is maybe we'll find more, but like this is definitely one I'm betting now. I'm gonna place this bet tonight. Unfortunately, I'm gonna see unabated. This sounds like unabated didn't have the best line, so I'm gonna have to look through every book, but I will have this as a bet at some point, by tomorrow morning. So, but hopefully we find some more tonight because, like I said, this is the first time I'm looking at these lines.
Is this a Trenton drive?
It's what?
Is this a Trenton drive?
A trend drive
to your baseball stadium?
What do you mean?
Is this a drive to your? Is this a drive to the baseball stadium again?
Oh, Trenton. I thought you said trend drive. I'm like,
no, Trenton.
Trent. No, I can bet. I can bet anything here, but except for draft props. I don't know why Pennsylvania doesn't allow draft props. Apparently, New York doesn't either. It's the stupidest thing. Like, why not just let people bet anything? I've gone on this rant so many times. No, I don't have to go to Trenton. And I would say, unfortunately, you know what? When I drove to Trenton a couple weeks ago for the draft, for betting the draft, when I pulled into the stadium parking lot, I had this like warm, fuzzy feeling inside. Like I saw a friend for the first time in years. I haven't been there in like 10 months, and I was like, oh, I miss this place. Even though I just like stopped by and like made some lineups for like 3 minutes and then left. It just felt like home, like a second home. It's the weirdest thing. I never thought it would feel that way. And like the drive up wasn't bad. Like I was listening to music, like I like blare the music so like I don't fall asleep on the drive up at like 3 a.m. I don't know. It was like a nice drive. It was a 20-minute drive. It was warm out. So I played the music. It was fun. I placed my bets and I left. It was a good time actually.
So what if it's full circle, and your son plays baseball, and then he play there? Like then it's just full circle.
That'd be some weird like fourth dimensional like stuff where like I kind of like sense the future. Whereas like my son plays at the Trenton Thunder baseball stadium, so I go for every home game. There's like that'd be crazy if that happened. I don't know. I'm gonna have to try to get him to baseball. So he's only 3, so he's not quite there yet for coordination, but he has shown some good athleticism. He was getting out of the pool by himself when he was 2. He actually throws pretty well. Like he was throwing the football down here. We have a mini football. He was throwing it pretty well. So maybe he will be a baseball player. That'd be crazy if that happened. Brandon says, so we don't know who the opponents are in the international games yet. I don't believe so. We know which teams are hosting them. I don't think we know the opponents though. At least we know the Pittsburgh is hosting the Ireland game, but we don't know which team is going to play them there. But we will know in 8 days. I think that's when they said it's going out. So we'll know that.
Probably Jaguars.
Well, we know they had the 2 London games back to back, which has really benefited them twice. So we'll see if that's a betting angle we can exploit again this year. Patriots should trade with the Raiders for Michael Mayer. I mean, depends what you have to give up, I guess. I don't know. Maybe you can salvage something from him, but he hasn't looked good. But yeah, maybe in New England he could do well. All right, so let's do the NFC East because that's where the Super Bowl champions are. Cowboys are 7.5 even money or -110 both sides. The New York Giants, they're probably low. They are 5.5, just like the Jets. Slight edge to the under -135. Eagles are 11.5, just like the Bills, and then the Washington Redskins are 9.5, -110 each way. Do you see anything here that makes you want to bet aside?
Why do I have this weird feeling that somehow, and I mean somehow, the Cowboys figure it out?
You think so?
Maybe it's just because I hate Mike McCarthy so much that it's like after he left, like we started seeing success again. Now, obviously, different quarterback situation, different everything, but it's like, why do I feel like somehow like the Cowboys kind of figure it out? Because they can't just be in a slump for like ever. Somehow it seems like they finally mesh, even though the team doesn't look like a team that would like mesh right now. I mean, we had it for a while. For how many years was it that there was a new division winner there's a different division winner every single year for how many years? I can't remember how long it was, but now do I see them winning the division? Probably not. Can I see them getting into the playoffs? I could see him making a comeback and figuring it out. Now, if their hot dog stand coach can figure it out, we'll find out. But so I mean, it's like the lines doesn't the line isn't really showing like they're unsure as well in my mind.
Yeah, I can't get behind Dallas. You brought up what I said. Like, I would not trust Schottenheimer to manage a hot dog stand. Like, I thought that was like a big disservice, like, to hot dog vendors, because like he shouldn't even be in the same sentence as those guys. He's just so incompetent. Maybe like a kid's lemonade stand, he'd be okay. Like, I wouldn't exactly trust him there, but like he wouldn't like be totally horrible there. Brian Schottenheimer is just terrible. But I don't know. The thing is, like, everyone's down. It seems like everyone's down on them. I guess like this number is usually low. Like usually for Dallas, it's 9.5. Like 7.5 is a little surprising to me. I thought it'd be higher. I thought we'd see 8.5, which would give me some interest. But 7.5, it's kind of low, and I don't see the value there.
Who are their opponents?
Well, we can look that up. Dallas Cowboys. I just realized that we didn't get the answer from Nuggets on the Grok question about the coaches. Just remember that. So at Carolina, at Chicago, Green Bay, Minnesota, Arizona, Kansas City, LA Chargers, at Denver, at Detroit, at Raiders, at Jets.
Okay,
so it looks. It's gonna mix.
You can already guarantee one loss right now, which is against Arizona Cardinals, because for some odd reason, that is Arizona Cardinals just absolutely hate the Cowboys. They just absolutely hate them, and so that would be a team like I would just say, "Yep, I'm just going to put the money line on the Arizona Cardinals."
Well, it's because there's so many Cowboy fans who live in Arizona. It's like like you kind of have to hate them, But I mean, it looks like a mixed schedule. Chiefs, Chargers, Broncos is pretty tough. But then you have at Carolina, Minnesota, Green Bay is tough too. But you have at Raiders, you have at Jets, so they should be able to win those games. At Detroit might be tough.
You've got winnable games.
Yeah, you have winnable games. You have games that look like certain losses. I feel like they're going to finish 7-10 or 8-9, and so the 7.5 just doesn't give me any interest.
Like one of those teams that could be like the 7th seed into the playoffs. It's like, oh, great, they figured it out, sort of thing.
Yeah, I could see them sneaking into the playoffs. I don't think they're going to be very good. If they sneak in, they're going to be a great team to bet against in the first round. Mm-hmm. Anything else before we move on to the NFC South?
I could see. It's hard to see the over actually on the Redskins, just due to the fact that you're playing at your powerhouse, Philadelphia, but playing against Giants, playing against Cowboys, you got the same divisional games, so I could 9.5 is a pretty good number. It's hard to like if you said like if it was like 8.5, it's like okay, that's an over. 9.5 is like it could go either way. Like they're definitely a playoff team, but it's hard to tell like where they're going to land in the playoffs. Like I don't see them winning it. I don't see them winning the division. Yeah. But 9.5 is a tough number to kind of figure out where they would land in the playoffs.
It's funny you don't like any of my long shot, like not long shots, but value picks to win the Super Bowl. Like I love Minnesota, I love Washington. There's a third one. If I had to bet anything here, it would be Redskins over 9.5. I think they're a great team. As long as Jane Daniels doesn't regress or get injured, which it could happen, but I think that he's going to take the next step, and I think he's going to be in the same sort of situation as some other second-year quarterbacks were who won the Super Bowl. Like you had Russell Wilson do it about more than a decade ago. You had Carson Wentz in his second year. He was the MVP frontrunner until he got hurt. You had was it Joe Burrow in his second year lead the team to the Super Bowl. So I think Jane Daniels is going to be in the same sort of like category there. And I love that they got Larry Tunsil and some other upgrades too, Deebo Samuel, for example. And I think the Eagles are going to take a little bit of a step back this year. Not too much of a step back, but they lost their offensive coordinator. They lost some pass rushers. I just don't think they're going to be as good as they were last year. Plus, they're going to be the hunted, not the hunter. So I think there's a decent chance the Redskins take the division. I would still favor the Eagles, but over 9.5, I think should hit. They were a great overplay last year.
They kind of remind me of the Packers a couple of years ago when the Packers like came into the playoffs and just kicked the snot out of the Cowboys, and it was just like, okay. Then they're coming into next year with all this, like as you said, they're the hunter, not the hunted at that point. So it's like, okay, so you had high hopes, and then like, okay, you can still get to there, but are you getting to the high hopes that you actually expected to them?
Yeah. Big Ben, another one. John bringing up. He's that the Steelers won the Super Bowl in the second year.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So there are a lot of examples like this, especially since the 2010 lockout, where they not quite the lockout, but like the new collective bargaining agreement where they had these rookie quarterbacks don't make as much as they used to. All right, let's hope to get some more plays in the next division. I don't really see anything I need to bet now. Like I might eventually be on Redskins over 9.5, but I don't see any reason to bet it now. NFC South. So we begin with Atlanta. I brought them up earlier. Over 7.5 is -140. That's pretty interesting, I think. Although the big kind of sucks, but I do think Atlanta should win 8 more games. We have who else? So we have the Saints at sorry, I missed Carolina. Carolina is 6.5. I know Tom likes them. Tom's our co-host on Saturday. They're 6.5 shaded to the over, -130. New Orleans Saints, they should be pretty low. 6.5. But the under is -155.
Give me the
under. Sorry, and the Tampa is 9.5. What were you saying about New Orleans?
Give me the under.
Give you an under? Yeah.
They're just in shambles.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that their rosters it took a big hit. Their Carr is out for most of the season, if not all of it.
Reach for Penix when they could have done something else. It was just, I don't know what they're doing. I'm thinking of the
Atlanta.
But Atlanta. But I think even Atlanta reached for Penix as well. But yeah, with the Saints, it's like Ryan Ramczyk retiring. That's a huge blow. He was such a great player. You've got offensive line issues. It just seems like I don't know what this team just. It's like the Browns of the NFC. It's just, what are you doing?
Yeah. I think I've been saying it for years. I think they needed to blow the whole thing up and rebuild, and it just doesn't seem like they want to do that. Now, I will say that Spencer Rattler, the Silver Snake, did not get a fair shake last year because when he stepped in, that was the game Olave left, I think, in the second quarter, and then he never returned really. And he didn't have Rashid Shaheed. Taysom Hill got hurt a couple games into his starting role. The offensive line had a lot of injuries too. So we didn't really get a chance to see what Rattler could do. And they also have Tyler Shuck. So there's a chance that one of those quarterbacks play well. So this big -155 does give me some pause, although I do think the Saints under 6.5 should hit. I just wish we were seeing a better number there with the big, but I think I might be on the under. What do you say?
My kids would love them to succeed because they love the golden retriever that kept jumping around when Chuck got drafted and stuff.
Yeah, it's funny when the kids give you a reason for liking a team. Like my son, we watched the playoffs are on, and like it was the Ravens, I think Ravens Bills, and he's like, like, Daddy, I like the purple team. He's like, he has no idea who was on the team at all. Atlanta, you brought them up for a second, and we had a comment here. Lav says Falcons over 7.5 seems like easy money. Do you agree?
That's tough for me. Like, if they want to keep running if they're gonna make Bijan as the absolute focal point, absolutely. But I just don't trust what they're doing. I just don't trust what they're doing coaching wise on that team. Like, it's like sometimes they feel like they're doing the right thing. The other times it's like, what are you doing out there? Like, is the owner like pitching in and he's just like saying, no, you got to do this, or I don't know what's going on.
Well, yeah, let's see about the coaching. I think that might be a flaw. I like the roster, though. The fact that they added 2 pass rushers this offseason was good. Last year, they dealt with Kirk Cousins' Achilles, where he just wasn't 100%, and now they have Penix, who looked better than Cousins did last year. So I do think there's some hope for them that they could make a run into the playoffs, which means the over 7.5 should hit. I'm looking at this, and I'm thinking that, like, I probably will be betting this, but it won't be one of my top bets. Just because, like, there is some uncertainty with Penix. We saw him in only 3 games. Granted, he looked good in those 3 games, but it's a small sample size. I mean, and you're right. Like, the coaching isn't great, but I think I would definitely go over 7.5. It's funny that the Falcons or Saints are only apart by 1 win here. That seems wrong to me. So it feels like one of those bets should definitely hit. Falcons over 7.5 or Saints under 6.5. Not sure which is the better one, but I think that we should be betting at least one of those.
Yeah, so. Good point. I mean, maybe I'm leaning kind of more with Tampa Bay to win that division again, but I don't know. It just feels like Baker just finally has found his niche down in Tampa Bay, and it's just like I'm happy that he's finally succeeded. Like, all the crap that he has had to deal with is going from team to team to team. And it's like, you finally get this was his almost like last opportunity. He's like took full advantage of it.
So do you like the over 9.5 then for Tampa?
In that division, because I'm kind of low on everyone else. I mean, if you're beating Carolina twice, if you're beating the Saints twice, you split maybe with the Falcons. I mean, there's 5 to 6 right there. Yeah, I could see it. I could see the over with the Buccaneers there. Can I see him winning the Super Bowl? That's a reach, but I could see the over there.
Lev says time to parlay the Falcons over Saints on there. I like what you're thinking there. That probably should hit. All right, NFC West. We begin with Arizona. Their over is 8.5 minus 110 each way. We have the LA Rams next. Their over is 9.5, although minus 150, so that could be headed to 10.5 potentially at some point. And then you have San Francisco, 10.5. We talked about their schedule. The schedule is so easy. It's probably the easiest schedule I've ever seen in my life, covering the NFL for 26 years now. And then Seattle, they're over on their 7.5, a slight shade toward the over. Do you see anything worth betting in this division?
San Francisco. I like San Francisco under. I could see him getting right. I could see him getting right at 10. Trying to think here. Arizona's got to figure it out at some point, right?
I don't know.
Yeah,
maybe not.
There's no new COD game coming out unless Kyler's wanting to play GTA 6 and then have that derail his season. I don't know. Well, I guess that's not coming out this year. But I don't know. Like, maybe Sam Darnold is the real deal, and maybe he can figure it out at Seattle. I mean, I did like Gray Zabel, that pickup, or that first round draft pick a lot. Now I guess I'm an NDSU homer, but I do like that pick a lot. So maybe they do figure it out. I mean, they don't have DK Metcalf anymore, unfortunately, but maybe just having some new eyes out there as well is gonna just turn that team around a little bit.
He told me that Sam Darnold, it came with Justin Jefferson and Kevin O'Connell, if they both of them went to Seattle randomly as well, I'd be like, okay, yeah, let's go. But Darnold's not going to have those guys next year. You know,
Right.
as you said, there's no
He's not going to
Metcalf.
have that offensive line like the luxury of that
Yeah.
offensive line that he did.
Exactly. So I don't see with Darnold there. Not that I'm dying to bet the under 7.5. Like Seattle is a decent team. Feels like they're going to win 7 or 8 games. So I feel like the 7.5 is like correct. Arizona.
Yeah.
What did you say?
I was gonna say, like, if you're looking at the division, like, at what point does like Stafford finally lay a stinker? Like, he got paid again. Like, when's he lay a stinker? When that's like, all right, time to hang it up, just like with like Rodgers too. Like, time to hang it up.
throwing cold water on all my favorite teams here. The Rams.
Sorry.
I don't know.
I gotta be a little bit contrarian.
I love the arguments. The Rams. I love the Rams this year. They came closest to beating the Eagles in the playoffs last year. Stafford was great when Nakua and Kupp were back. Now Kupp, he declined toward the end of the year, but they got Devontae Adams. Tyler Higbee came back in the playoffs, and he was a huge factor for Stafford. And so
he does like his tight ends.
It does, and they drafted Terrence Ferguson in the second round too. So that offensive line is great. They re-signed their left tackle Alaric Jackson, he was a free agent. So getting him back is huge. Their pass rush was really good last year. Jared Verse was great. He should be even better in his second year. The only like problem area I think for them is probably like cornerback, but there's talks that they might trade for Jalen Ramsey. So
I actually think a liability is their wide receivers, because
how
I don't even know if I trust Devontae Adams on that team, because Devontae Adams, if it's not Derek Carr or Rodgers, like, has he done well? Not really.
Yeah, but
this is like superstar level, so it's like, I mean,
yeah,
and you got one wide receiver.
Yeah, but this is the best quarterback he's going to see since he left the Packers.
True.
You know, like he had Rodgers last year, but Rodgers is 41 and coming off a torn Achilles. Yeah, Derek Carr stinks. Like, he doesn't stink. It's an exaggeration. He's the most mediocre you can get at quarterback. Like Stafford right now, unless look, he could always suffer a regression now that he's 37. But you know, we've seen quarterbacks win at 37 or older, and not just Tom Brady. You know, we've seen it. So I don't think it's that old. It's not like he's 39, 40. Like 37 is definitely doable. And like I said, this is the best quarterback he's going to see since he left Aaron Rodgers the first time. So no, I love the receiving core, Nakua and Adams, and also Higbee to go along with them. They have a good running game too.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah, I like the Rams a lot. Over 9.5 for the Rams is the best I've seen in this division. But again, there's nothing that I don't need to bet this now. I feel like is this going to move a lot? Like it's already minus 150. Like, is it going to go to minus 160? Maybe, but like, I don't think it's going to move that drastically. So I don't think we need to bet it now, but I will be on the Rams at some point. Now, if I will look around tonight, like if I see like a minus 125 or something on the over 9.5, then I think I'll place the bet, but there's no need to rush to minus 150. Something better could appear at some point, you know?
Right.
Yeah. Stafford's still slinging it. McVay still genius. Yeah. Again, we didn't mention McVay. McVay, one of the best coaches in the NFL. So, all right. So we already did the AFC East. You can rewind that with the craziness that occurred. Let's go to the AFC North. Baltimore is 11.5, minus 110 each way. Cincinnati is 9.5. The over is minus 125. Cleveland is 5.5. I thought we'd see a lower number there, like 4.5, given the quarterback situation. The under is minus 140. And then Pittsburgh, which I will say this, I have to bring it up contractually, sort of. My father-in-law, I almost said stepfather for some reason. My father-in-law, he makes one bet every single year, and he's like, when I go to Vegas, he's like, Walt, bet this for me, put $100 on it, and it wins every single year. Steelers over, always wins. The over is 8.5 plus 110. I guarantee he'll be betting it. I'll bet along with him, the $100. So, any thoughts on the AFC North?
I mean, I would tail that as well. I mean, I get it. It's with the Steelers. They're always that like you're the one that said it. I mean, they're always destined for mediocrity. Like it's like they don't want to win the Super Bowl; they just want to get to the playoffs, and they just always do. And it's like, all right, well, okay, what are you going to do? Are you going to get over that hump? Or are you just going to keep getting middle draft picks and just keep sticking on cruise control? I don't know. If that's what you want, then fine. But totally get it. Totally get the bet. I mean, I don't know if Rodgers moves the line or not for that, but I mean, you got DK Metcalf there too. I mean, you've got the tools that you can really have. You can probably even have like a backup quarterback too, and you can get there.
That's a good thought. That's interesting. That's a good point. Like if Rodgers signs, that line will probably move to 9.5.
Probably.
Yeah. So I think best to get it in now. And you know what? I'll even bet it for him now, just in case. He's not like a crazy better. Obviously, he only makes one bet per year. So I will bet it now, and like he's gonna be like, he's like, hey, bet it for me. I'm like, I already did. I got you the best number because it's 9.5, and so that might help me win the best son-in-law competition. I have to go against two other sons-in-law because he has 3 daughters. So that is what I'm aiming for here. Cincinnati under 9.5 is something I'm interested in.
I am too. I think they're putting so many eggs in their basket, especially with Burrow and with Chase and with T Higgins. It's like, okay, sure, you've got your offense. What else do you have? So I mean,
go ahead.
No, I'm just thinking like, okay, at some point it's just going to implode, and sometimes you see those times when your superstars get paid and then they just kind of slough off a little bit, and it almost kind of feels that way in some point. Now, clearly, I could be easily wrong with that, but I honestly see the Ravens winning that division, and I actually like over 11.5 for wins because of how they drafted this year. And I mean, you clearly put A+ on most of their draft picks too. It's just they just drafted so well, and if they just continuously keep doing that, they're just going to continuously be a powerhouse.
Yeah. So here's the thing here. Like you mentioned, all the eggs in one basket. Like the basket's not full on offense, and that sounds weird to say because they have Burrow, they have Chase, they have Higgins, they have Chase Brown, they have Gesicki, Andre Yuskevich, can't forget him. The problem, like, look at their offensive line. It's not good. Their guards are Cordell Volson and Cody Ford. Those guys are awful. And Amarius Mims, who's a first-round pick, he could make a jump this year, but he was bad last year. So they've 3 potential holes in their offensive line. And like, I don't know. Their offense is not going to be elite.
Doing 2 tight end sets and putting Drew Sample out there to block, or what are they going to do?
Yeah. Sample's going to be out there a lot. Yeah, and Eric All here, he's going to be out for the year probably. Man, this, like, I don't know. And this defense is awful too. Cincinnati's defense is so bad. They had issues. They had like huge hole defensive tackle, and they drafted linebackers for some reason. It made no sense. Like linebackers, like the one area where they were fine on defense. They added 2 linebackers. They had Shamar Stewart.
Yeah.
What?
It's like the years that I grew up being a Bengals fan, and 3-13 seasons were great. It's like it almost kind of feels like that. Like you've got the superstar power. It's like great. You got people to cheer on and everything, and you have a losing season again.
Right. Yeah, I love the Bengals on there. I brought this up before, but as soon as the Super Bowl is over, the Eagles beat the Chiefs. I posted a poll on Twitter, and I showed all the odds. I'm like, who are you betting on to win the Super Bowl? And most of the respondents said Bengals, and that kind of like just was kind of like a red flag to me, saying like, when the public is like on to something like that, like it usually means it's wrong, and I just don't see it with them. I think they're a very flawed team. It's not like they're not even coached that well. I'm not a big fan of their coaching staff either, especially because they got rid of their defense coordinator, which I thought was a mistake. So yeah, I mean, the over 9.5, it's like not a guarantee. Like Burrow could get this team to 10 wins. I could lose. So this is not going to be like one of my biggest bets, but I will bet it at some point. But yeah, I don't have to bet it now. But yeah, it's going to be on my card for sure.
They could be the Detroit Lions in this case, and lose by touchdown in every single game. I can easily see that.
Yes.
Just because they've got the firepower to stay close, but are they going to close games? I don't know if they can.
Yeah, I don't think they can either. I think you're right about that. All right, let's. Anything else before we move on? I feel like we covered all these teams.
Yeah,
so.
I said the over on the Ravens.
Baltimore.
I think that just with their drafting and everything, they seem to be just doing everything right. So
yeah, I think as long as Lamar stays healthy, that over should hit. Okay, so the AFC South, we have Houston, and I love that all these teams are consecutive except for Tennessee. Houston's 9.5 under is -130. Indianapolis 7.5, pretty like -115, -105. So nothing to be worried about there. Jaguars are 7.5, basically the same thing as Indianapolis. Slightly more shade toward the over, which is interesting. And then you have Tennessee, the team that had the first pick in the draft, over 5.5 is -120. Anything stand out to you here? Nothing really stands out to me. Maybe you see something I don't.
I like the over on the Jaguars. I think with their new head coach, I think with their I do really like Travis Hunter, and I think I think they did legitimately draft him to play both sides of the field. I legitimately think they did, and I think they're going to push him. I think they're going to play to his abilities, because if they see that early, they're going to do it while he's got the youth to do so. And I think they have a lot of check marks to me to say that, okay, I could see them being a playoff team.
Yeah, I think they're going to improve this year. The fact that Trevor Lawrence hasn't finished the season in the past 2 years gives me some pause.
I would say that's one of the biggest liabilities is Trevor Lawrence, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, I don't trust the offensive line there either. I wish they would have just stayed at 5 and drafted Membu or Banks if they wanted him instead. I thought that would make more sense to me, but yeah, I'm not in love with this team, but I do think they will make improvements. I like the Liam Cohen hire. Not that like we know exactly how he's going to do as a head coach, but he did a great job as the coordinator in Tampa. I don't trust the defense though. The defense is bad, but it's a soft division. You know, they're going to have they're in 3 easy games, the 2 games Tennessee and the home game against Indianapolis. So yeah, they could get there, but I'm not like dying to bet it. But if I had to bet over under for Jacksonville, I would bet over.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I almost like them to kind of sneak in there. I almost kind of like them sneaky to win a division, to be honest.
Yeah, I can see that. I would like to bet Houston, just as like a bounce back, buy low, but I don't trust the offensive line.
They just seem to be a one-dimensional team. If it wasn't Mixon, it was Nico Collins, and that's all they did.
Yeah,
it was nothing else. It was just one or the other. And to me, it just seems like with a one-dimensional team, it's like once you're figured out, it's just like win or bust.
Yeah. They signed Christian Kirk. They drafted Jaden Higgins, so maybe one of those guys will contribute. They didn't get much out of Diggs last year because he got hurt, and then Tank Dell was never 100%, and
that was a huge blow.
Yeah, not just hit like Tank Dell like with that injury just being brutal, but it like CJ Stroud's like mindset for that game and the next game after that. He just looked like he was mailing it in. Like I thought that was a very bad look for him. And I know that like he was distraught over a teammate. Like, and I think it's kind of a natural way to feel, but like he let that impact the way he played so much that like it makes me like wonder if he's gonna ever have like the mental fortitude to win a Super Bowl. If something like that like shakes him so badly, then I don't know. It's hard to trust him at this point. And he did have some major regression last year. And I would be worried if that's like a pattern. Like is he going to bounce back? Sure, he could. But what if he regresses? Like, what if he continues to regress and he just keeps getting worse and worse? I worry about that too. So Houston is by far the favorite here at 9.5. But I don't think they should be. I don't think they're like the gap is between them and Jacksonville. I don't think it's that big. So. I agree. I think Jacksonville could win the division. And like as far as like divisional odds, let's jump into that. Well, actually, I don't want to move off this. We'll get back. We'll get to that in a second because if I go to a different tab, I'll have to expand all these again. I don't feel like
Right.
so, all right. Well, we'll do that after this AFC West. So Denver is over 9.5. It's a big number for them, but maybe they deserve it. Plus 115. So the under is shaded there. Kansas City is over 11.5 as well. So it's them and the Bills and the Eagles and the Ravens over 11.5. The Raiders are 7.5, shaded toward the under minus 140. And the LA Chargers, the San Angeles Chargers, if you want to call them, 9.5, shaded toward the under as well, minus 130. Does anything stand out to you here in the AFC West?
It almost feels like, obviously we saw the Chiefs just get destroyed in the in the Super Bowl. Now, are the odds resonating with the fact that they just, because of that? I don't know. Like, it almost makes it feel like, they've got the coaching staff where clearly they could win they could have another 14-3 season or something of that sort. But
yeah.
I mean, you've got Travis Kelce. You don't know. You've got Travis Kelce, and you don't know if that's going to be a distraction. Obviously, they draft well. They've got some new weapons on the wide receivers as well. I don't know. It's just that they're just coached so well that it's just like they don't need to be a flashy team to win games, and so it's hard for me to want to bet that line just because it's like whatever you do, you feel like the opposite is going to happen, but they're still going to make the playoffs or sort of thing. Like I could even see them not winning the division, but still sneak in as a wild card team and still win a game or two easily. They're just built as a playoff team. It doesn't matter where they land in the playoffs; they're going to win a game.
Right. I think people are too low in the Chiefs. I posted a poll a few days ago asking like which team should I bet to win the Super Bowl because I got a 50% profit boost on FanDuel, and I posted the 4 favorites: the Eagles, Bills, Ravens, and Chiefs. And the Chiefs were dead last in the voting. It just seems like the people don't believe in them, and this is like the opposite of what I said before. Whereas people are eager to bet the Bengals, no one wants anything to do with the Chiefs, and that kind of makes me want to bet the Chiefs. As long as they have Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes, they're going to be there. And they have other great players. They've, Chris Jones obviously is still there. The receivers have a lot of promise. Pacheco should be at full strength. That's one of their. The tackle situations will be better than it was last year. They have Josh Simmons or Jalen Moore. Like one of them is going to do well. And so they're going to be a good team. They're going to be a great team potentially. So over 11.5 is the way I'd go if I had to bet it. I don't, but luckily we don't have to bet everything. So it's probably something I'm not going to touch. If I had to bet an under somewhere or over somewhere, man, I don't even see anything in this division I'm like leaning toward. Like it might just be over 11.5 in Kansas City if I had to bet something. Maybe the Raiders under 7.5, but Pete Carroll's a good coach. Geno Smith's just an okay quarterback. He's better than what they had. And then you're going to have Max Crosby at full strength. Actually, you know what? I think I'd probably bet the over on the Raiders now that I think about it. Like, because last year they had so many injuries on the defensive line. Like Crosby was never healthy. Christian Wilkins played like 4 games for them. Malcolm Kuntz didn't play a single snap. So their defensive lines can be a lot healthier. And like we saw how devastating that defensive line can be when they're healthy.
Maybe Renfro figures it out again,
Yeah, they have Brock Bowers, they have Jacoby Myers. It's not like the best, receiving core, but with Bowers, Bowers should have a big boost in the second year, and Myers is always solid. And they have Gentry now, so they have a running game. I think that they're better than what people think they are.
I can see 3 teams. It's hard to say that you could see 3 teams from a division. Like the AFC just looks so talented. Like you got, let's say you've got Bills, Ravens, Chiefs. Let's say Bills, Ravens, Chiefs. Let's say Jaguars. How's it going? Then maybe 3 teams from this division get there. Maybe it's Chargers and the Raiders. I mean, maybe the Raiders sneak in as that 7th seed.
Yeah, I mean, the other divisions are weaker this year because again, we're not believers in the Bengals. Maybe the Steelers, I think, could get there. The AFC East is pretty weak outside of Buffalo.
Oh yeah, okay. So yeah, you'll have let's say Ravens Steelers. Let's say Ravens Steelers. We saw Chiefs. I guess we saw the Patriots maybe. So I mean, is your 7th seed going to be the Patriots? Is it going to be the Raiders? Maybe one of the two.
Yeah.
Then you got the Jaguars. So probably you only get one team from that division. That's probably your 4th seed, which I could see as maybe just Jaguars, and then Houston doesn't make it.
Yeah.
So
look, it's a very top heavy conference. Let me ask you this, because this is something I was actually wondering today. Because I'm doing, I don't know if you saw what I'm doing. I'm doing like betting the exactas to win the Super Bowl. This is something that our Thursday co-host Andy Isco does. Andy's been a professional bettor since 1990. So what he did last year, and it's funny, as I had him on before the Super Bowl. I'm like, who are you betting? He's like, I don't need a bet. I'm going to win money no matter what. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, well, I bet the Chiefs to beat the Eagles 90-1. And I bet the Eagles to beat the Chiefs at 100-1. I'm like, holy crap! Like, how'd you see this happening? And he's like, and he told me his strategy that he always does before the season. He'll bet exactas on 3 teams from the AFC and 3 teams from the NFC, his favorite teams from each conference. So he loved the Eagles, he loved the Chiefs, and they were among his top 3 in each conference. So he bet them either way, and he had 90-1 and 100-1. Yeah, so he didn't have to sweat it out at all. So this is what I'm doing this offseason. And in the AFC, I'm betting the Ravens, Bills, and Chiefs in like to win these exactas. So if you had to pick a 4th team, this is my question. If you had to pick a 4th team from the AFC, who would it even be? Because I feel like you have these 3 teams at the top, and there's like a huge drop. Unless you could come up with a 4th team, I like, for me, I don't know. I mean, let me know what you think, but I really had issues coming up with this 4th team.
Ravens, Bills, Chiefs. Let me think here.
Yeah.
What would be my dark horse? I mean, maybe Chargers.
That was my. I was like, maybe like if they figure it out. I don't know. Does Herbert have what it takes? Like, the defense lost Bosa. I don't know. It could be them. I was thinking like maybe Broncos. Like, because I like the roster. The defense is really good, but I don't know. I don't believe in Bo Nix that much.
If I were to take a dark horse right now, just because I was just so high in them, maybe the Jaguars.
I feel like it's going to be those 3 and the Jaguars in the second round. Like, the Jaguars win as the 4 seed, like Houston did this year, and then like the Jaguars get blown out in the divisional round. I don't know against whoever wins the 1 seed there. So I feel like that is like talk about like the 1 seed being so important, because like we know the 2-3 is going to be 2 of the Ravens, Chiefs, and Bills, and so they have to beat up on each other in the second round, whereas like the other team gets a bye basically against the AFC South winner. So yeah, I don't know. I was like, could there even be a 4th team? Yeah, I was like, maybe Chargers, maybe Broncos, and I can't think of another one. Yeah, Jaguars have some potential, but again, there has been no. I should say this, like, as first-year head coaches, the only 2 teams who won under first-year head coaches had quarterbacks named Johnny Unitas and Joe Montana, and that was it. So, is Trevor Lawrence among that group? I don't think so. As talented as he is, I don't think so. So yeah, I feel pretty confident that the AFC representative is going to be one of those 3 teams. The NFC is a lot trickier. The NFC is so much deeper. So you can make arguments, and you even hated all 3 of my NFC teams. So I imagine that, like, you're who would you have in the NFC? As it picked like the 3 best teams in the NFC.
Well, obviously you've got Eagles. It's hard to
So
not.
they're not
hard
even
to
they're
not-
not even in my top three.
Really interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I know Vikings are in your top three.
Yes, but who are your top three?
Top three would be Eagles. Um,
Why you think Lab asking Mr. Thoughts on the Texans? So the issue with the Texans is their offensive line is kind of in shambles. They lost Army Tunsil. Now they signed a couple of guys. They might be like Cam Robinson's just okay. And Trenton Brown, but I don't know if he can stay healthy. It's an issue with him. The receiving core outside of Nico Collins is very questionable too. And I really have issues with CJ Stroud's mental fortitude with what happened last year with Tank Dell. I don't know if he has what it takes. And there was a lot of regression last year. He wasn't as good as he was as a rookie. He wasn't bad. I'm not saying he was bad. He did bail out the team a lot in third downs. But he just wasn't as good as he was last year as a rookie. And the offensive line hasn't been fixed. So while I think the Texans are going to be a good team, I don't think they will make the next step, whereas I thought heading into last year, I thought they could. All right, so Butters, you have three teams in the NFC.
Let me go Eagles. We go a homer pick of Packers, just because I'm still shocked that they actually picked Golden. I'm still shocked. I was like, they're not going to do it. And they did. I was like, I am shocked that they actually listened to it. Now, are they going to make him their wide receiver one? Are they going to throw him as wide receiver two and make Romeo Dobbs number one? I don't know what they're going to do. Mm-hmm. But maybe that pushes them over the edge. They've got enough talent. They've got enough talent out there. They've got enough talent where even their fourth, fifth, sixth string wide receivers can be playmakers. I mean, if Watson comes back late in the season, enough to make design plays for him, maybe he's out in the field for 7 plays. We talked about this when we were doing best ball. Maybe he comes out on design plays, just goes deep, and he's able to catch a few long darts and catch a few touchdowns. That's enough. That's all he may need to do. So give me a homer bet of that. And I'm still convinced the Lions are there. Even losing Ben Johnson, I'm still convinced that Lions can have one or two, maybe 2 more years that the magic could happen.
I'm very down on the Lions. I've had a lot of free bets, like bonus bets and stuff, via deposits or losing those home run bets. I have not taken a single bet on. I've not placed a single bet on the Lions, a free bet on Lions. They're the only team among the favorites I've not touched. I have touched the Eagles a little bit. Like I said, I'm down on them this year. They were my Super Bowl pick last year at 17-1. They were my favorite team. This year, I think that losing Kellen Moore is going to be a big factor. And they, like I said, they lost 3 or 4 defensive linemen. That has to be an issue. Like their depth is not going to be as strong, and they're going to be the hunted, not the hunter. Look, they can still do it. If I had to pick 4 teams, they would probably be the 4th. I just think that they're not going to be as good as they were last year, which could still be good enough to win, though. But the Lions,
So then your teams would probably be Vikings. I'm guessing Redskins.
Yes.
And you already said Eagles are not on that list. So then. So Vikings, Redskins, and is it Packers?
No, the Rams.
Oh, okay. I see it.
Yeah. I don't know. Packers, I don't trust Jordan Love. I just don't.
I don't trust Jordan Love at all.
I don't. Yeah.
If they keep fading Jacobs, great.
Yeah. I don't trust Jordan Love one bit. And the defense is not great. It's okay. It's just not great. So I love LaFleur. I think he's a really good head coach, but there are, like Jacobs, you said, there are some really good things about the Packers. I just don't think they're an elite team. I don't think they're as good as the Vikings, Rams, or Redskins, or Eagles for that matter. They might be better than the Lions. I'm down on the Lions this year. So maybe they're fifth for me. I did like them a lot last year until they lost Watson. But yeah, just there's not quite there for me. If their defense is better, maybe, and maybe if I trust the Golden too. But he's only a rookie, you know, so we don't know what they're going to get out of him. But yeah, so those are my three teams. So I'm doing the exactas. So I might put the Eagles in there. And I said this to other people who were like, why not the Eagles? I think you're going to get a better number on the Eagles at some point this year. We saw it last year when they started 2-2 last year. They got blown out by Tampa. They lost to Atlanta at home. Like there's going to be a stretch at some point this year where they don't look that good, and that's going to be a good time to bet them because they're like plus 650 to win the Super Bowl right now. Actually, let me just make sure that's correct. We can get out of here. The Eagles are the favorites at plus 650. If they trip up and have like two bad games in a row or two bad games in 3 weeks, like they're going to be 9-1, 950, maybe even 10-1 to win the Super Bowl, and that's when you bet them, and that's when you get the exactas on them if you still can. So I see no reason to bet them now, but I do have interest eventually. But like I said, Lions plus 950, they're the only team I have not bet here. I have bet the other ones, Bills the most. I bet the Bills more than any of these five teams. It's either Ravens or Chiefs after that. I think it's Chiefs and then Ravens, and then Eagles a little bit, and Lions zero bets to the Lions. I think they're going to take a big drop off this year with no Jared Goff. I'm sorry, no Ben Johnson coaching up Jared Goff, I should say, and losing Aaron Glenn too. Like they lost both coordinators. That's what happened to the Eagles after 2022 when they lost the Super Bowl to the Chiefs. They lost both coordinators, and they were just a miserable team down the stretch. Like they started 10-1, but down the stretch they looked awful, and they got blown out by Tampa in the first round. So I think that's what's going to happen to them.
But if it's Bills versus Lions, and then Bills just blow them out.
I don't think the Lions are getting there. I think they're worse than the Vikings. I think they're worse than the Redskins. I think they're worse than the Eagles and the Rams. And they might be worse than the Packers. I don't know, but Niners, I know you disagree with this. They might be worse than the Niners too. I don't think the Niners are dead. I think they're somewhat decent. They're not as good as they were, definitely not, but I think the Lions, as long as if McCaffrey's healthy, I think the Niners are going to be a tough team to beat. And they have the easy schedule, as I said, like I've ever seen. So they're going to be able to rack up wins. I think they're going to be in the playoffs. I think they might be the same as the Niners. Like they might be on the same level to me. I just like with the coaching just taking a huge hit. Like you don't recover from that. It's like how good are these coordinators if they get back to the Super Bowl with them? You know, we even saw with the Patriots when they won 3 and 4 years to start Brady's career. They lost Romeo Crennel and Charlie Weiss, and then the next year they couldn't get past the second round of the playoffs. Like that, I think that's gonna be the Lions this year. I think there's a good chance they make the playoffs, but they're gonna lose right away in the first round. I think they're gonna get outclassed by whatever team they play against. So. Yeah, Huhaim says every year the Eagles have a few down weeks in a row. Yeah, exactly. Like you're going to see that from them at some point, and that's when you hammer them. Like when people have no interest in them, that's when you hammer them. So
yeah,
we're going to look at before we head out divisions with the AFC South because you brought up the Jaguars liking them. We can do divisional rounds of like later. Like really get into them, but and we will do that during our season previews as we always do. Jaguars to win the division is plus 280 compared to the Texans who are plus 115. You have Colts 3-1 and Titans 7.5 to 1. Jaguars plus 280 looks pretty decent there. I think that's something you bet. If I had to bet the Jaguars instead of the over 7.5, I think I'd rather bet plus 280 to win the division.
I agree.
Okay. All right, that's about it. Unless you have anything else. Anything else before we head out?
What other division odds do you have up? Let's take a look since you got it up.
Okay. So the Bills are an overwhelming favorite, minus 240. Don't think we need to look into that. Ravens are minus 140. Bengals plus 230. I think people will bet that, and I would not.
Maybe if the Steelers sneak into winning it, maybe because like. You've always got your odds bets, so maybe, but probably still more with the Ravens.
This Steelers 5-1 says, will Lamar Jackson get injured? 5-1. that's what it seems like. If Lamar Jackson misses time, I think the Steelers take it. If not, I think it's Baltimore.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Okay. So AFC South, to talk about that. AFC West, Chiefs are a slight favorite minus 120, and the Chargers and Broncos basically tied at plus 330, plus 340. Raiders bringing up the rear 11-1. No value here. Like, I mean, it's probably gonna be Chiefs, right? Unless Mahomes gets hurt.
Right.
But if Mahomes gets hurt, like, it might be Chargers or Broncos. So maybe you bet both, thinking Mahomes gonna get hurt. I don't think that's a good strategy. But it's if you want to think that way, I think that's the way to go. NFC East, Eagles are minus 155. Redskins are plus 230. If you're gonna take a shot with a team in the plus 200 range, I'd rather go with Jaguars. Because the Eagles are much better than the Texans. But yeah, don't bet the Giants at 25-1. The NFC North, the Lions are the favorites, plus 115. I like this. Packers are plus 270, but the Vikings are plus 440. Bears are 5-1. I love the Vikings. So
that's pretty crazy.
What's crazy?
No, having the Vikings is plus 440. It's almost like I totally get it with all the talent and everything, but then is it just? I'm looking at those odds and it's like, is it almost a sucker bet, or is it
No,
just
because people don't like the Vikings for some reason because of McCarthy.
Okay, I get it.
They have a top 3 roster in the NFL if you take quarterback out.
Well,
and
right.
McCarthy might be good. Like, we don't know. We haven't seen him play.
That's why I'm looking at this. I'm like, plus 440 for that talent. I'm just like, what is going on?
Yeah. Johnny Pastrana says you were right. Shador Sanders is valued much higher than Jackson Dart. Shador Sanders, leader of men.
So,
Yeah, exactly.
okay, wasn't I remember the line for the Browns was 5.5. So did they give 1 point for each quarterback that they have on their roster right now?
That's yeah. Well, Shador gets 2 points, so that's that's how they figured that one out. Yeah, look, Shador Sanders probably the best quarterback on the Browns, but he may not make the team.
No, Flacco.
Well, Flacco was awful last year. I think people remember Flacco from 2023 when he led the Browns to the playoffs and was actually really good. Last year, he was horrible. And believe me, I bet on the Colts when he was there many times. And I watched him look like dog crap. Like, he was terrible. He was absolutely terrible. The Flacco should not be starting. Like,
Maybe maybe the Colts actually suck.
It feels like they shouldn't, though. Like, they have a good offensive line. They had Jonathan Taylor for most of the year. They have Pittman and Downs are decent 1-2. Not great, but they're decent 1-2. And their defense was okay. Like, I feel like they should have done better last year. Maybe the coaching staff's part of that, but Flacco was I don't know. The eye test did not pass. Like, Flacco looked like he was 45. And he's close to that age. So I would not, if Flacco starts, I'm looking forward to betting against the Browns. Let's say that. Now there's an unknown with Sanders, and also to an extent Dylan Gabriel, but we probably know what he is. If Sanders starts, then I think the Browns have the most upside with Sanders. Even though Sanders doesn't have that much upside, which is kind of weird to say, but at least there's an unknown factor with Sanders. And look, he might be awful, but we'll see. I don't know. I was surprised he dropped the 5th round, and so you know what? So was the scout who told me to get him out of the first round. He said he was surprised he dropped to day 3. So, yeah. So
what if it's at the end of the day? What if on their roster it's Dylan Gabriel starts and Shador Sanders is backup?
I'm gonna bet against the Browns every week if it's Dylan Gabriel. He's terrible. He's 5'10". Like, he doesn't have NFL tools. He's not like he's not a serious quarterback. I feel like he could be good in the CFL potentially because his mobility and stuff. But like, he doesn't have NFL talent. I was so surprised they took him in the 3rd round. I thought he was gonna go 6th round. In fact, I don't even know if I had him in my mock draft. Honestly, I think I did at one point, but I think I dropped them off. I'm not sure though. actually just could take a look right now if I had him in my mock draft. Dylan Gabriel. I had him slotted to the Seahawks at the bottom of the 5th round.
Okay.
So he went 3rd round. I don't know. It wouldn't surprise me if he was like not in my mock draft, but I guess he just made it. The quarterbacks suck this year.
Okay. Me being an NDSU homer, would you prefer Dylan Gabriel or Cam Miller?
Or who?
Cam Miller.
And not anyone not named Dylan Gabriel. Like he's so bad. Like he's not a serious quarterback. He's 5'10". Like he's not gonna be able to see over the line of scrimmage. Yeah, and so Who Hames says so many people are going to bet the Bears. Yeah, that is true. I mentioned early in the show, Who Hames, that one of my friends is betting the Bears to win the Super Bowl because he says they have a great roster and Caleb Williams is going to be a great quarterback. And I pointed out to him that, and it's the 3rd time I'm mentioning this fact, but the only quarterbacks who have won on their first-year coaches in the Super Bowl were the only quarterbacks were Johnny Unitas and Joe Montana, and Caleb Williams is not part of that list. JJ uncertainty. Like, here's the thing: like, if JJ is awful, then I'm wrong. But if JJ McCarthy is just mediocre, the Vikings can win the Super Bowl. Like, because the rest of the roster is so good. Like, we've seen some mediocre quarterbacks in the Super Bowl. We saw Jimmy Garoppolo, for Christ's sakes. If Garoppolo can get there, McCarthy can get there if he's mediocre. Now, if he's good, and then this is a bonus. If McCarthy is good, then the Vikings are going to be serious contender to have the 1 seed. So I am definitely on board with them at 40-1. That's the number I got them at, and all the exactas to have them at like 110-1 or 130-1. I'm all over that. So I just think there's a lot of upside with Minnesota. So yeah, that's the NFC North there. Vikings plus 140 seems great. NFC South, the Bucks are the favorites, plus 115. Falcons are plus 230. This seems like a great bet. Panthers 4-1, Saints 7.5-1. I think Falcons plus 230 looks really good. I know you're not as high on them, but I think that should be a coin flip. Like Tampa, Atlanta seem very even to me.
Yeah, I could see it. I lean personally Tampa Bay, but I totally get it.
When I do, I'm going to update my power rankings at some point this week. Tampa and Atlanta are going to be right next to each other, I imagine. So I don't see why Tampa's plus 115, Atlanta's plus 230. It seems like they should both be like plus 140 or so, plus 150. So yeah, I don't think if you want to make Tampa plus 145, Atlanta plus 155, I could see that. But yeah, there's no reason they should be that far apart. And then the FC West, the Rams, we had them last year at 4-1. So that was a nice one for us. They're the favorite, slight favorite, plus 170. Niners plus 175. Cardinals 4-1. Seahawks 5.5-1. I like the Rams, but there's no reason. Bless you. There's no reason to bet this. I'd rather bet. Bless you. I would rather bet them to win the Super Bowl or in the exactas. So, I don't know if you see anything there before we head out.
Your parlay is looking really nice at the moment, but
yeah, I'm not. It's not something I'm going to bet 70-1. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll put $10 on it. But add
the Rams on there.
Add the Rams. Okay, so we got 170-1. Let's put $10 on it to win 1,700. Let's go. The problem is this is 3 divisional winners who are not the favorites. So there's a very, very small chance it's gonna hit. So I'm probably not gonna bet this, but I do sometimes we'll put stuff in my bet slip, just to have it there, and then I actually did this for golf. I didn't put this on the site because there's no way this is gonna hit. I put five or six top 20s in my bet slip. And it ended up being 400-1 or something, and I was like, let me just bet $10 on this. It's not gonna hit, but I just did it, and of course, it lost. It was last week when Pot Geyer, or the Poltergeist as we call him, did not make the cut, so that kind of ruined it for me. But I always think that's funny. See who says Falcons do feel fine. I'll take the Giants is 25-1 over Seattle plus 550. Interesting. I would not take either. but I get what you're saying. If you hate Seattle that much, I get what you're saying. But the Giants are bad too. They're horrible. So 1 week from the schedule drop. Yes. Can't wait. I love looking at the week 1 lines and trying to guess what the lines are. Too bad Jacob can't do that with us this year. I used to have so much fun with Jacob just trying to guess the lines. He unfortunately has moved on to USA Today, and he can't join the show while he's working for them. But by the way, congratulations to Jacob for tying for the best mock draft among all media people. He had 10 picks correct along with Todd McShay. So kudos to him. Charlie had 9, by the way. So yeah. So I actually miscounted. I thought Charlie had 10. I had to rewrite my article. Charlie actually texted me. He's like, "Walt, I had 9 picks correct." I'm like, I thought you had 10. And so I double checked. I'm like, yeah, you had 9. I don't know where I got 10 from. So I had to rewrite it this morning, unfortunately. So, all right. Anything else before we head out? Any
No, that's all I got.
All right, awesome. So yeah, Butters, thanks so much for joining me. Also, thank you to Nuggets if he listens to this eventually. Hope you guys had fun tonight, especially with the 20 minutes or so with the chaos of Nuggets. That was hilarious. So
let's hope we're not doing a eulogy.
Yeah, no, seriously, that would be very unfortunate. But that was probably the 30 most entertaining minutes we've had here on the show. I was dying. William says I got 9 by draft position. Headed Dolphins trading up for Banks. Nice. Our picks were for connecting to team. But that's pretty good. 9 by draft position. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching and commenting and stuff like that. Thank you so much to John Sanders for the 411 super chat. I really appreciate it, John. As always, thank you so much. Please like, subscribe, comment below, share this video. Visit the link in the description for the merch store. Once again, Butters, thanks for coming on. I look forward to. I probably should ask you if you're available for the PGA Championship next week, but if you can come on, if you and Nuggets can come on, I'm looking forward to that, to the shenanigans once again. So
I should be available. We'll talk.
Okay, awesome. Sounds good. All right, guys, we'll be back tomorrow with Kenny. Going to do some more fantasy football, probably some more ADP stuff, looking at if Kenny's like, what do you want to talk about? I'm like, let's look at ADP, try to find some good sleepers and stuff. So we can do that. And then Thursday, we're going to have a special show where we talk about TV shows, kind of, it's the off season, so might as well do that. And then Saturday, Tom will be on. So, full schedule this week with guests. So, so once again, thanks, guys, and have a great night, and I will talk to you tomorrow.